Hey campers, Georgia, back in the man cave. Yep, winter has arrived. And with that came this guy. It's an old timer. Yeah, a folder. Something a little different that caught my imagination. I thought maybe I want to have a real close look at this thing. This is the Old Timer 900 OT assisted opening. Let's check it out. Here it is here in typical old-timer packaging. And the model number, or the item number, or whatever you want to call it, is 1084273. It's important to know that. But we'll get to that. Here it is here. See that? It's a little unusual. And that's what got my attention initially, was just the style. You know, I'm looking at this and it's got a lot of extra metal on it. A wood handle, pocket clip, it's got a lot on it. But this metal on here kind of attracted me to it. I want to say it's kind of medieval. Well, to me anyway. Here it is here, and you can see it has the old-timer badge on it. There's a little bit of artwork on the wood. On the other side, you can see it there. I've got a solid pocket clip there, and on the blade it does, which I'm not a fan of, but it does say old timer on there, if you can see that. Now they do say assisted opening. Now the last knife I looked at was assisted opening as well. So I wanted to see if all knives, and I don't own any except that one that I got, which impressed me. I like that idea of one-handed opening. Getting off the topic here, my idea of a nice pocket knife, personally, is a single-bladed, easy-to-use, reliable knife. It's nice to look at all the multi-blades, the canoe, the Congress, name them, you know, all the old-style, traditional pocket knives, all multi-bladed. Personally, I like one blade. Really can't see a use for multiple blades, personally. I know, then, like I said, they're nice to look at. I like to look at the different styles and blades and the choices they make, how they're made, that sort of thing. All very nice, but a single blade I really like. And I've got to say, after seeing the last knife, this guy here, that assisted opening kind of impressed me. I like that. This is assisted opening as well, but not quite the same though. And that surprised me. Now, it's a liner lock. If you look in there, you can see the liner locked in there, and it does lock in nicely. It's pretty solid. I can't move the blade. That assisted opening is not the same thing as the other one. This flicks open like that, and then you go up. You actually have to pull it up from that, I want to say 90 degree, I think. Let's look at that again. Now, it's got the thumb studs on it here, and that's another thing. You can see the thumb studs are on both sides. So if you're left-handed, you can do it with your left hand. I'm not very good left-handed. But if you look here when I open it, it'll spring open to there. And then you have to open it, which to me, I always thought spring-assisted, wham, all the way out, and there you are. But apparently not. What do I know? I was just surprised. I didn't know that. Now, looking at how you can see it open, I wanted to show you that. And it's a nice knife. I like this knife. Very nice. It looks very nice. And, of course, you know, when you look at the liners on it, it has that open body, what I like to call an open body. You can see through where the blade is. And, you know, you can see on the scales are on there pretty good. And they have the screws holding the scales in there. You can see them. You got 1, 2. And then right here on the pivot point, you got the big heavy duty one. And you can see that it's attached where the spring is on the back here. This clip, the spring clip, it's really tight. Good thing. But this stuff here is what intrigued me. I thought it was a nice touch, a little bit unusual. It makes the knife stand out a little bit more. than just your plain old assisted opening single blade knife. It's kind of cool looking. It makes it, I don't know, look stronger. I think that's what it is. Does have a lanyard hole, and of course you got your thumb studs here for you to open it with the assist open, which, like I said, goes there and comes out. The blade is a drop point, and it does have jimping on the back here. The blade does have that satin finish on it. You can see it's nice and shiny. The steel on this blade, 7 CRC MOV 17. Had to look that one up to have a look at it to see what that's all about. Now, that's what I wanted to get into. Couple of things about this knife when I bought it. This is the old-timer 900 OT assisted opening pocket knife. That's the way it's described. Like I said, it comes with the pocket clip. It is assisted opening. It has the dual thumb studs on it. Can you move the clip? You could probably move the clip from one side to the other. It's not going to cover the badge or anything on it. It looks, and it has a lanyard hole, has this here, and you know that almost makes it a little tougher. I almost want to say these are kind of sort of bolsters, these guys here, and these are actually made of nickel silver. I like it. I like the idea, the style. I'm also starting to like this idea. This what I call the see-through handle. You can see right through. The one thing about it is when you close it up, you can look at the blade and see if the blade is straight, is lying straight in there. So I'm going to, like I said, liner lock, very nice. You can see it's solid in there. I'm going to close it up and let's see how that blade sits in there. Quite dead center. You see there? It's a little low, but it's close. It's pretty close. And when you look down there, you can see. So that's not bad. You don't want to close it and the blade is all the way over to one side of the liners. That's not going to work. That's not a good thing. This is pretty straight from what I've seen. The handle is wood, obviously, and it is ironwood. And they have that, just that grip pattern on it. At first I thought it was to help with the grip on the handle, but you can't even feel it really. And it sits in my hand. It's a little small, the handle, for me. Like I've always said, my grubbies, I'm all palm, no fingers. So my fingers fit in there, right on that you can see on the edge there. It does go in there, and it does have the jimping, like I said. Back to that steel, the 7CR17 MOV. Had to look that up and see what it's all about. And this is what I found out. Basically, it's a Chinese version of the 440A in the US. Does that make it bad? I don't think so. I mean, 440A is not bad, and it's just the Chinese version of it. Now, looking it up, corrosion, excellent. They say this is really good steel for corrosion, which, I don't know about you, I like to oil all my blades. I don't think there's really a true rust-resistant steel out there. Certainly this kind of steel, stainless, that sort of thing, help a lot. It takes a lot more for them to rust, but I still think that you have to take care of them. The other thing about it, they say this type of steel, very easy to sharpen and very easy to take care of. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, the 440A isn't the best of the 440 series. I believe the C is probably the best from what I've read up about. It's a nice blade. Look at it. It's got some depth to it. It's fairly short, which I like. I feel a lot more comfortable with I don't want to say a stubby blade, a short blade like this. I feel I have more control. I'm closer to the area I'm working in, that sort of thing. So it makes me feel a little bit more controlled when I'm using it. Is it sharp? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we'll get to that. I just saw something. It feels sharp. Look at the now I've been doing this lately, and I would really like some feedback on it. I want to get more into the knives than I've been doing in the past. Normally I just describe the knife, what it is, that sort of thing. But I want to look at them a little bit more closer. I just feel I need to know more than I do if I'm going to carry on doing the reviews. I feel I need to give you the information you need. And, maybe there's stuff you don't know about that I've read about and I can pass on to you. But I've been looking at these blades. Now, this one, if you look at that edge, it's pretty good. It's even all the way there. On the other side, not quite the same. It's a little shallow here compared to down here, but it's not bad. What I saw, though, was this, and I don't know if you can see that. You see that? You can see it right there. Where my finger is there, keep your eye on that, and there it is. You see that? It's got a nick in it, right on the edge. So that's not good. But I suspect, they say, easy to sharpen. Wood. So, am I worried? No, I think even I could fix that. Maybe just no, it's not. I thought maybe some stropping. Maybe it's just, I can't feel, any edge to it, like it hasn't been stropped. That's a nick that's going to have to be, it's going to have to be resharpened. You know what? Most of us who look at knives and buy knives like to sharpen the knives. And sometimes we even get it right. Me, not so much. This knife I like. I like the look of it. It looks strong, it looks tough, and it looks like it could take some abuse. It just looks that way. It gives you that brute force in a pocket knife. It looks a little bit more solid. Let's go over some dimensions. When it's open like this, tip to butt, 6.85 inches, about normal. I've seen a lot of knives out there around the 7, so we're close. Nothing unusual there. It feels bigger, it looks bigger. I assume when they measure the blade length, they go from tip to the choil, because that's the area that gets sharpened, so I assume that's the blade length. I could measure it, I suppose. I can give you a rough one. And they say 2.9 inches, which is about right. I would have to say, it's to the choil being right there. And if you don't know what the choil is for, that indicates where the end of the blade is when you're sharpening. So, you don't go out of your way with it or go too far. This area here with this little lip, we all know is the ricasso. And so that's your choil. Obviously, you have your spine of your blade. And then, your scales, which are the wood ones, your liners and that sort of thing. So just a quick reminder for myself, actually more than for you guys. My memory is just not what it is. So I like to just go over that and just remind myself. Holding it like this, this I think would be nice. It's nice to have these, but they are pretty smooth. I don't feel like it's going to help. And if you look, they're almost rounded. So how much that helps, I'm not sure. Good place to put your thumb. Give you some extra strength when you're pushing down, holding the blade. And of course the lanyard hole. I do like this knife. I like the style. Like I said, it looks tough. And the weight, 4.4 ounces. So not bad. I want to check the sharpness of it. So now I need a piece of paper to cut. I'm not sure because of that nick. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I heard it catch. The tip, it is sharp, but if I go from the back, you see there, right there, if you look at that area there, that's right where that nick is when it catches it. So, I'm starting deep, and I want to get that whole blade to slice through, and you can see, again, if you look there at the paper, see that little fluffy piece there. That's from the neck. Stropping it might help. But looking at that neck, I'm thinking you're going to have to resharpen that one. But I like this knife. I don't know what to tell you. I just like it. And we all know Schrade owns Old Timer. Who owns Schrade? Who knows? You know, as you know, Schrade owns Oldtimer, Imperial, and Uncle Henry, I think, are the ones that they own. They may own other ones, but that's what I wanted to get to next. After I bought this, I like to go look up, make notes, read up on it, and see what it's about. Came across the same thing, but different. And I try to figure out what the different, if there was a different model number, and I couldn't really find it. And it's this guy here. Now, if you look at it, and I'll put this here next to it, and you're looking at it, you can see they almost look the same, except the blade is different. This blade here has what they call a false blade. The blade is different. It has that false blade on the top. They say it is a drop point, comes down, but it has what I'm talking about. I'll open this up again. What I'm talking about is along here, they have that false edge, which is called the swedge. And this one doesn't have that. And it's a little different. And I try to figure out why they have the two different kinds besides the blade. Couldn't really figure it out. Maybe you guys know. And that got me a little confused. And I was like, oh, what am I looking at? What am I buying? Is this really an old timer? Or has somebody, pulled it out of the box and made their own? It is. It's an old timer. And apparently they have two models to it. They're both, when you look them up on Google or wherever, you type in old timer 900 OT, you'll get two different pictures. There it is there. You can see. Nice. Really like this. It goes in there nicely. It sits in there nice and solid. That clip, awesome. And, look at all that steel, all the metal on it, which is kind of nice. And, of course, it has that sister to the middle and then bring it up here. Very nice. Liking it. Let me know what you think. I like it. It comes out to feel very sturdy. And 4.4 ounces, it's not light. How will it fit in my pocket? Let's give it a try. By the way, I did not know this, but they have this so that when it's in your pocket, the tip of the blade is facing down into your pocket. Some people will have it that way, blade up. I did not know that. The reason for it, I'm not sure. I've never really looked into that. I really didn't notice it before. I am right-handed, so I'm going to put it in my pocket here. And you can see. Sits in there nicely. Comes out nice and easy. Putting it back in. It is tight on there. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to come off. So, good job. Now you're making me get up and down and do all sorts of things with these knives. Yeah, I need the exercise. So there you have it. Old timer, 900 OT, assisted opening pocket knife. How much should I pay for it? That much. Not bad. Not going to break the bank. And I feel what you're getting here, you're getting quite a lot. There's a lot of metal on it. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back again. I'll work on some whittling projects. The weather hasn't been very cooperative. And it's snowing right now, and it's a little chilly. Tough to be outside. Even getting down to the man cave, it's getting chilly. I might set up my heater in there. I need to do some whittling and cut some pieces of wood so that I can whittle. Just saying. You all be safe out there, especially with them sharp and shinies. Thanks for watching. And you all take care and be safe out there. We'll see you again soon.